Hey, Johncrestani here, internet entrepreneur, and we've all gone through failure and trying to start our own businesses or trying to just get started. I know failure more than anyone else. I failed a number of times before I became a millionaire. I failed a number of times before I was able to create multiple sources of passive income. And my first businesses, failing was the hardest thing because now I'm used to it, right? I've got tough skin. But when you're just getting started, when nothing's working out, when you feel all alone and frustrated, that's the hardest time of when you're failing. And I'm going to go through my experience of how I was able to break through failure and become a successful internet entrepreneur, because that beginning part is the hardest part and you're not even sure why you failed. I'm going to go through all of that and what you can do step by step of how you can get out of it. Let's get it. So failure really sucks, and it feels bad. Feels really bad. And I remember I started thinking to myself, okay, I failed once. What's to keep me from failing again? I'm probably gonna fail again. I'm probably just gonna keep failing. Why put yourself through that torture, right? Why put yourself through this pain and misery? Why not just settle? What's wrong with you? Why do you want more than most people? Why is everybody else happy with having a normal job and staying in their place and you're not? Is something wrong with me? Those are the things I remember thinking, and my first business was a total failure. And what's funny is my first business was on YouTube, right? I failed. I started a YouTube business in 2009. I started on YouTube, post a bunch of videos, like a dozen or 15 videos, something like that. Totally failed, right? You would say, well, John, you're successful now. Yeah, 10 years later. But I failed, right? I wasn't successful at YouTube, I failed YouTube. And I was trying to start a channel. I'd read this book, The 4-Hour Work Week. Type in 4-Hour Work Week or type in 4-Hour Work Week love if you've read it. But I read this book, The 4-Hour Work Week, and wanted to start, an internet business. And I was like, I was in Thailand and I said, oh, what am I passionate about, right? I was thinking, what is that? I thought, I love backpacking. I love low budget backpacking, travel around the world. I love meeting people. I love reading books. I love the spontaneity on the road, the serendipity of meeting people of different cultures and figuring out how to get around places where you don't even know the language. And, I'm not a stupid person. I don't think I'm stupid, but I put a lot of work into figuring out how to build a YouTube channel. I researched all the stuff that was out there, right? There wasn't a lot of stuff about how to be a YouTuber in 2009. There was barely anything. But I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna start an internet series. And I did everything I could. I did all the research. I followed up everything I thought I could, right? And I started a YouTube channel, posted up 15 videos, and it failed. Nobody watched them, right? They were watched by a couple dozen people. And I gave up. I gave up because I said, this isn't working out. This isn't making me any money. I don't have any money to support this. I wasn't in a solution-oriented mindset. I said, I failed. This YouTube thing is BS. You can't just post a video. Nobody watches it. So I moved on to my second business. Now, my second business, I made a little bit of money. I was super stoked. I was posting around. I was a tutor. I was in college. And I said, I'm gonna tutor other children because I'm good at math, right? So I was like, I'm gonna, I guess I'm all right at math. I failed statistics twice, but I'm all right at math, but I'm better than the international students. So I posted flyers around college advertising saying, hey, I'm a tutor, and if you want a tutor to help you with your classes, you can pay me. Something like $40 an hour, which I thought was ridiculous. I thought it was a lot of money. And I got some clients. I got some international students, mainly Asian and Middle Eastern international students, asking me to help them out. And I helped them out, and I got paid $40 an hour. And I thought I was rolling in it. I thought I was just so much money. I was so excited. That was my first taste of success, right? $40 an hour, and then the college told me I couldn't post flyers around the college anymore. What the heck? I failed again. I realized, I was like, I can't post flyers around the college. People want what I have to offer. And they told me, they said, John, we have a tutoring center. You can sign up to volunteer as a tutor, but can't offer tutoring services outside of the tutoring center. I said, what the heck, man? I didn't even know there was a tutoring center. And my second business, just like that, failed. Now you might be wondering, John, what's the point of this? Why are you telling me about all this failure? I want to talk about what I do when I fail. You might want to say, John, what do I do when I fail? Okay, I get it, you failed. Let me tell you another business I failed. I failed over and over and over and over and over again. But here's one of the key points, is I didn't quit. I never quit. I never quit. Successful entrepreneurs deal with more failure than unsuccessful ones. True story. Now my third business, I started selling online. I started selling on eBay. I was selling products. I was finding products. I was getting them from other people or other people's garages. I said, I'll give you half. I'll sell you a product. I'll sell your junk for you. You get half, I get half. I was doing stuff like that, and it started working. It started working well until it didn't. And my PayPal account got shut down for, I still don't know the reasons. They wouldn't tell me the reasons, but my PayPal account got shut down and I lost a lot of money and I wasn't able to run an eBay business anymore. And that was the next failure, and over and over and over and over again. There were more. I could go on, but I'm not going to bore you to death with all of the failures I have. The point I want to make to you is, John Crestani, an internet multimillionaire, you might think, oh, he grew up, everything's rosy, right? I failed more than you. But here's the difference, is I didn't whine about it. I never whine, never complain. It's just part of the process. Now, we have all been sold that the safe path is working a job, but that is not true. We've been sold this idea that the safe path is working a job and that the dangerous path is being an entrepreneur, is working for yourself, is finding your own little niche in the world and owning it. We've been sold that because the system has been built by the rich and the powerful people. The laws of society are built to keep the rich and powerful, and the poor, poor. Now, the safe path is not working a job. The safe path is a path of slavery. And it's a slavery of the mind. We've all been sold this idea that we are who we were born to be, that our blood determines where we go in life, our family, whether we were born rich or born poor or born middle class. The greatest lie that has ever been told is this. Now, entrepreneurship, it doesn't need to be your becoming a freewheeling multimillionaire flying private jets everywhere. What it can be is simply just freedom. It can be that you are a scuba diving instructor in Barbados and you are working for yourself, right? You are a contractor. It doesn't need to be a formal job. Being an entrepreneur can be you are a Uber driver, you are a mechanic, you are a handyman. It can be something where you're working for yourself, but you're not beholden to a boss. Jobs are slavery. I worked corporate job and it was awful. I worked a corporate 9 to 5. I worked my way up the system and it wasn't worth it. Now there's good news. There's 4 steps you can take when you fail. The first off is you want to write down the good that came out of your failure. Okay? Write out the good that came of it. Failure. You need to reframe it in your mind. It's normal. It's natural. We all go through failure. It's not failure. It's just part of the process. Kobe Bryant doesn't make every basket he shoots. Andre Agassi doesn't hit every swing he makes. Baseball players don't hit the ball most of the time, right? Every quarterback doesn't make every throw. It's just part of the process. If Kobe Bryant was like, oh, I'm so sad, I didn't make a hoop, he wouldn't be successful. If he got emotionally hurt, like butt hurt, for not making a basket, then he would never be Kobe Bryant because everybody's going to miss some shots. Most of us are going to miss a lot of shots, okay? He's at the point now where he makes most of his shots. So write out the good that came out of the situation. Maybe you learned something. Second is analyze. Analyze your failure. Analyze why you failed. What went wrong? Was it that you didn't work at it long enough? You know, let's say you're doing affiliate marketing. Were people clicking on your link? Did you set up the link properly? Was your pre-sale page bad? Was your targeting off? What do you think you did wrong? Did you just not get any clicks? Maybe, where did it fall apart? Figure out why you failed. And this really goes into, I'll tell you kind of the bonus tip right here, number 4, which will help you figure this out better. But you gotta analyze your failures. If you don't know why you failed, then you're not doing it right. And that was the mistake I made. When I first failed, I never actually looked at my failures. What I did good was I just did stuff, but I didn't actually analyze and figure out, why did this business fail? Why did I get shut down from PayPal? Why did the school not like my posters? Why did, all this stuff. I never thought about it really hard so I could improve on it, which goes into number 3. Figure out improvements. Once you figure out improvements, this brings up a cool concept I like to call lensing, okay? So lensing is, there could be multiple reasons why you failed. One could be that you didn't work at it long enough. You simply just didn't work long enough at the problem and you would have made money or succeeded or whatever you're trying to do. Another reason could be that you were doing it wrong, okay? Another reason could be that the business model doesn't work. Now, this is my horrible illustration of a magnifying glass, but a magnifying glass on a person. But lensing in and out is looking at the problem from bigger and smaller perspectives. You can say, okay, where did that problem occur? Because as I said, it could have been that you just need to try different tactics. It could be that you just need to do more stuff. It could be that the business model doesn't work. And there's ways to figure out if you are right in any of these. We could look at the business model, right? We could say, okay, does the business model work? And you can figure that out really easily by seeing if there's other people making money with the business model. If there are, then the business model works. It's not the business model. If one of your tactics is wrong, you could look at, let's say for affiliate marketing, you're going about something. Maybe one of your tactics was wrong. You could look and see, are there other people using those same tactics to make money online? Are they working? How can you verify that? You might need to go to an affiliate conference and meet people. You might need to surround yourself in groups, immerse yourself in the community. Another way to look at it would be as yourself. Did you just not work long enough at it? Another thing could be seasonality. Maybe what you're doing works, but not this time of year, right? But there's so many ways you can look at different issues, whether it's in relationships or business or just personal development. There's a lot of ways to look at stuff, and figuring out the ways you can improve and knock off any doubt about any of what went wrong will help you ultimately improve and become better in whatever you're trying to do. And last but not least is surround yourself with successful people in the community. That whatever you're trying to do, whether it's improve your relationship or whether it's do conscious parenting or in business, surround yourself with people who are going the same direction as you, because when you do that, you're going to figure stuff out faster. Because if you're just listening to me, then you're going to have doubts, you're going to have skepticism, because I'm just one point of view, and you could say, John's wrong, right? He made a lot of money probably off the backs of people, scamming people out or whatever. I don't know what you want to believe. But the point is, if I'm just your only point of view on things, I'm the only successful person in your life, you need more successful people. You need more people headed in the direction. If it's money success or relationship success, you need more people surrounding yourself, more points of view, so you can be more confident in the decisions that you make, because you are not failing and you don't want to go back to slavery. You're so close right now. You're so close. You just need to keep at it. Woo! So, like this video. If you had an aha moment, type in aha. AHA for those non-Tony Robbins people in the house. AHA, aha. Aha is like wow, I thought of something. Have a aha moment, type it in, and let me know if what helped you or what this made you think about. And if you have any questions for me about my story or about how I got through failure, let me know in the comments below. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see, most of my videos I show people how you can earn money online, and also make sure to hit the notification bell so you're notified of when my live streams are. Talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.